My name is Cheryl Erickson and I'm the Indigenous focused ECE instructor with Louis Riel Vocational College. Today's video will be a summary of Chapter 3 in Nutrition, Health and Safety for Young Children. Please ensure that you are reading Chapter 3 of your Health and Nutrition and Safety text, as this video is not a replacement for your chapter readings. Chapter 3 is a summary of nutrition and the science of nutrition. And so when I say science and nutrition, what does that mean? And so there's a definition here that goes on to explain that nutrition science is the study of how foods provide nourishment to support the body's growth and maintenance and to repair the human body. So for us as ECEs, it's important for us to understand about healthy eating practices for young children as well as ourselves, especially because we do care for young children and we are providing menus and meal planning for young children. So as far as eating goals go, and when we're looking at building our menu and the types of meals that we're presenting to the children, we want to ensure that the menu supports some good foods, healthy foods, and the transport of nutrients to the body. And that's important because the nutrients maintain the body's functions to provide energy and growth, and it maintains the healthy body. It regulates the body's processes as well as it affects how genes are expressed, and that is in development. As we eat foods, our body goes through a process as far as digesting that food. So the digestion process is really kind of a mechanical process, and I've said before that the body is like a machine. And so when you're eating food, you're chewing the food, and there's saliva involved, which helps it pass from your mouth to your esophagus. And that saliva allows the food to smoothly move to your stomach, and from there your small intestines and your large intestines. And after all the nutrients and things are broken out, it's eliminated from your body. So it is a process from actually eating to eliminating it. And so things that are really important in that process are foods that are high in fiber. So foods that are higher in fiber are going to be removed from your body quicker after everything is absorbed. So when we look at absorbing it, or malabsorption and constipation, we look at foods that are difficult to absorb, so nutrients that are damaging or may hurt that intestine lining. And so things that may happen within that could be a lactose intolerance, which is basically the ability or inability to break down the lactose that's found in milk. You can get some stomach aches because of gas and bloating. Sometimes it's diarrhea. Diet-related diarrhea, which is a watery stool, can affect your stomach, irritate your stomach, and cause cramping. So you just don't feel well. So you know that it's important to look at the types of foods that you're serving in your diet. And again, higher fiber will reduce the risk of constipation. So in that sense, constipation, the painful process of passing that stool. So all related to the nutrients and your ability to not be able to absorb that. So aiding digestion and absorption. So how do we promote that within our classroom? The things that we're teaching the children, what we're looking at as far as our menu planning. We want to create a classroom environment that supports the natural rhythm of eating. And again, you know, children are grazers. Children are very active, so we want to have a menu and meals that are about every 2 to 3 hours apart. That's a natural rhyme for young children. We want to provide appealing meals that stimulate the senses. So when I say that, it should be visually appealing, it should smell good, it should taste good. And the environment we're serving food in, ideally a calm environment with limited distractions. So what that means for the child that's eating is they're able to focus on the food and eat that food, not be distracted by what's happening around them. Macronutrients in our diet, so proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. We want to ensure that we're providing good proteins, good carbohydrates, and fats. Fat is needed in the food digestion process. Fat is a good tool for elimination. It's necessary for food to pass through. You need fats within your diet. So we want foods that supply energy, which are measured in the form of calories. We want foods that will be repairing and replacing cells. So when we look at our diet, we want our menu to contain proteins, 4 calories per gram. We want carbohydrates, and we want 9 calories per gram. So after saying that, I also want to just point out that this is very much an American factor, not so much a Canadian and specific to Manitoba. Really, when we look at our menu planning and how we determine what we're going to serve the children, it's going to be based on Manitoba Early Learning and Childcare regulations and the Canada Food Guide. So we're not really a calorie-focused menu as much as we are ensuring that we are providing children foods from all 4 food groups within the appropriate serving sizes. So carbohydrates, again, are important to the body. A good source of energy. They can be found in grains and fruits, the complex carbohydrates, vegetables, milks. And carbs are often found in our sweets. So those are not our good carbs. So the types of carbs that we have, so sugars would be again, common more in the sweet choices that we make, the cookies, cakes, those things. Complex carbohydrates, starch, and dietary fiber are all made up of those carbs. So the complex, more fruits and vegetables. Dietary fiber is found in more fruits and more vegetables. Protein is a huge factor in our diet, and actually one of the best choices we can make for foods. Proteins are usually, they stay with us longer. Proteins usually involve a little bit more chewing. So your stomach or your brain gets that message that the stomach is full because we're spending more time chewing those foods as within fruits and vegetables. It helps us control those body functions. There's more energy. They're more higher energy foods. And by saying that, I mean it takes your body longer to break down a protein than it does other foods. So therefore you feel like you have more energy and you're not as hungry in between if you make those choices for the proteins. Proteins also, when you break it down, there's amino acids, which are essential to growth, body growth and development. Fats, we have good fats and we have not good fats. So good fats, we want to incorporate more into our diet than the bad fats, the saturated and the trans fats that are associated with a lot more health issues. We want to provide those essential fatty acids in the diet, and why is that? Because it helps control some of that inflammation, the blood clotting. Fatty acids are also good for eye care, eye health, so promoting good vision and maintaining that healthy immune system, which is again important to your body development. Micronutrients we require these in a small amount to sustain those body processes. So, making good choices as far as foods that contain those nutrients are a huge consideration when planning that diet. They help transport oxygen, fight infections, building body structures, keeping our body healthy and in good repair. They also are good for helping to prevent chronic diseases. Vitamins, it is a good practice for young children to take a multivitamin. This isn't recommended. I would consult your pediatrician to be specific and maybe offer some recommendations. But children can be kind of finicky eaters and don't always eat from the 4 food groups, often have food legs and get stuck on certain foods. So multivitamins come in because even though they're not eating a rich diet, vitamins still give them the necessary vitamin intake that they may be missing when they're not eating certain foods. So again, I speak to seek advice from a health practitioner regarding that. Minerals, we have macro minerals and micro minerals. So foods are amazing because they contain so many different nutrients and minerals that you don't even realize. And again, you can see these on your food labels, but you may not recognize what it is. And so minerals are cool because they're natural, they're from the earth. They help initiate and regulate processes within the body. And they're part of our body structures, our bones, and our teeth. Water is a huge factor in our body. I think that our body is made up of an abundance of water. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you what the percentage is, but water intake does regulate our body temperature. That's through perspiration. It does help transport nutrients and oxygen in our body. It helps remove waste through urine. So water is actually something in the last few years we've seen a high increase in our menus as far as what we're menu planning for children. And so we've gotten away from juices and drinks on menus and put in fresh fruits and adding water to it because we realize that children don't drink enough water and there's great value for your health in drinking water. So you see on a lot of menus the increase in water servings. And it's also good for illnesses too because it things pass through your body as far as drinking more. It's almost like flushing it out. So that's been a big promotion in childcare in recent years. We don't want children to be dehydrated. Drink lots and lots of water. Water keeps your body healthy too. Phytochemicals, so healthy promoting substances. These are found in plants. Significant health benefits to this. So all the vitamins, minerals, nutrients that you get in the fresh fruits and vegetables. The color has a good factor in it. Green vegetables often contain a lot of iron, which is good for your body. And it maximizes there's maximized benefits when eating a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables. The richer in color, the more nutrition, the more value within that food choice. What is our role as ECEs in nutrition and science? We want to meet the nutritional needs of children. We want to ensure that that menu, the meals that the children are eating are well balanced with a mixture of fresh fruits and vegetables, proteins, carbohydrates. So we want to ensure that the children are receiving a healthy, rich diet. We want to understand the nutrition across an array of cultures, because we have discussed how diverse cultures are, and we want children from all cultures to partake in those menus so that they're growing healthy. And we want to understand the nutritional processes as we are teaching these to the younger children. So that does conclude the lesson for today. Please do ensure that you see your instructor if you have any questions regarding this chapter, as well as check in to ensure that you haven't missed any handouts or assignments pertaining to this chapter.